Low battery, please charge.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not gonna use my mic today because it just died and I forgot to charge it. So sorry about that. Like yesterday, it said it had 22%. Now today it says it had 7, and it just shut down. So that's when technology lies sometimes. So today, what we're going to learn is something called the DOM, and we're going to start to mix HTML and JavaScript. Which, as I said, like I think this is where this gets fun. So remember that I just wanted to emphasize that remember that you should be looking at your Google Calendar as the source of truth. Like Canvas Calendar will have exactly the same. No, the opposite. The Google Calendar will have exactly the same that Canvas Calendar has, but other pursuit staff is updating the Google Calendar and not the Canvas Calendar. So so the Google Calendar is a more reliable source of information for you to look at the lessons and other extra events. Okay, so today as I said, we're going to be mixing HTML and JavaScript. We're going to get to see what the DOM is, what is it for, like how can we think about it. We're going to be able to, in the browser now, ask the user or prompt the user for user input. We're also going to be able to display back what they give us as their input. If we think about it, this is something we could use. I'm going to be stressing it more. This is like prompting and displaying output to the user is something that we could use if we were writing the Hangman game in the web, like in a web page. So yeah, this is some of the things that we're going to get to see: the DOM, what the window is, some methods in the window, and also something called the document. So let's just jump right into it. So yesterday we learned about HTML tags, right? What were some of that? Give me some of the HTML tags that we learned yesterday. Hupo? Ordered and unordered list, great. Any others? Vanil? A tag for links, great. That's one of the most important. Yes, Stephanie? Emphasize EM, yes, correct. Douglas?
HR, which created a line across the
HR, nice. Yes, HR. Any others? Strong for styling in bold. Right. Yes. The image. So those are just a handful. Like there is, well, I don't know the number, but there is like more than that. We're just sort of scratching the surface. The next tag that we're going to see is the script tag. The script tag is a special tag because it allows to write JavaScript inside an HTML. So let's go to a text editor. I'm going to go to my folder first with my terminal. I'm going to create a folder here. You might have already done this. I'm going to call it HTML JavaScript. And then I'm just going to cd there. Now here I'm going to create an HTML file. Just the way that we've been creating JavaScript files, touch. I'm going to call it index.html. When I have only one, I like to call them index. They don't have to, oh, I misspelled index.html. Okay, now I'm going to open my text. I wanted to see if I can find this to sort of like see if we can measure it. So note that when I increase my width, if I run this again, now I get a different value. So look at how I moved it, and then I refresh. Now I have 500 pixels. Now I have a refresh. I have 870 pixels. So what would be a good use case for having access to this number? What do you think? Yeah, speculate. Peter?
Trying to figure out how to make an image so that it fits on the screen correctly.
Nice. Yes. If you say that again. Typed? Tables. So I think those two connect to, you could use this number to know how much space you have, and then try to fit an image. If it's too big, you don't want the image to like overflow and have pieces that you're not going to see. You always want to show the image, so you could shrink the image according to the width or height of the website. So again, then we have the window object that has all these properties. And here I wanted to show you how you could discover this property so that you don't want, you could go to the documentation. If you go to window object in JavaScript, you will get the documentation of W3 Schools or MDN. These are the two sources for us web developers. And look at how many it has. It has close, console, document, location, screen, status, and look at how many methods it has. Move by, open, print, prompt, scroll. You could even scroll the screen. Oh, but that one is deprecated. Scroll to now. You could even move, you could scroll your website at will from JavaScript using this. So also, if you don't remember, or if you don't want to go to the documentation to find something, well, first you should always go to the documentation if you're not sure. But I also wanted to show you this feature, which is once we're in the console in the browser, we could explore ourselves. So I could do window, and you see that when I type window there, if I hit enter, I get the window object. I could expand that, and then I can see all the properties.
So I jumped ahead to the second question, but for some reason it doesn't want to, it's only sees in the strings, I think. Because when I try to add 2 and 2 together, like number and number together, my assigned variable, it just puts, it's like I put in 3, and it returns 33. So I'm trying to figure out how to...
So think about that. The answer to that question is in what is the type of the return value of window.prompt.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I saw some of you already got started on the exercise number 2, which is this one. Use window.prompt to ask the user to enter a number. Then use window.alert to display that number times 2. So let's spend 5 minutes doing this exercise. Those of you that already did it, have another prompt where you prompt the user for a number and then print that many hellos. If I put in 3, it will alert 3 hellos. That's only if you already did this one. For now, those that are just starting, that's fine. Let's do this one, exercise number 2. Okay, do we need more time to finish? We good? Okay, so let's do this one. Some of you said instead of prompting for a name, you will be prompting for a number. So I'm just going to call this number, and I'm going to say, give me number. Then instead of welcome, well, let's do a variable here called result. You may or you may not need this. I'm gonna do a number is times 2, and then I'm going to alert the result is result. I'll remove this console log I'm not using. Cool. Some of you have this. Is that correct? You may have an improved version or a better version than mine, but let's see what mine does. I'm going to go here, refresh, give me a number. 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, seems to work. 1 times 2 is 2. What was the question? Was multiply it, right? That number times 2. Okay, but it says this second part: if the input cannot be converted to a real number, use window.alert to display. Please enter a number next time. So how could I approach this? If the input cannot be converted to a real number, alert, please enter a number next time. I saw some of you using different strategies for accounting for that, for this case. What are some of those? A little bit louder? You could use an if statement, okay. Where would I put the if statement?